I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, can I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Milner.
Present.
Alderman Reese.
Present.
Alderman Dickerson.
Here.
Alderman Long.
Here.
Alderman Stafford.
Yep.
Alderman Turner. Alderman Bowman.
Present.
Alderman Buckelman.
Here.
And Mayor Hassett.
Here, and we do have a quorum. Tonight, we do not have our microphones, so I'd like to remind everybody, please be sure you speak up so the audience can hear us. If you have a hard time hearing, just wave your hand a little bit and see if we can speak up a little. We have no ceremonial matters tonight, so I'll move on to public participation at this time. Anybody who has anything to bring before this board that is not on our already scheduled agenda.
Go ahead.
Please be sure to give your name and address to the clerk.
Good evening. My name is Mike Davis, 1704 South Halsey, Harrisonville. What I want to talk to the board about tonight is that last week I discovered that some political gubernatorial signs that I had in my yard had been removed. On further checking around, I found that similar signs had been removed from my neighbor's yard as well. When I checked with the campaign worker, I was informed that the city alderman had removed election signs for all candidates from all over the city. This at least put my initial dirty politics concerns away, but I still raised my ire in that if true, an alderman has no right to come on private property to take signs or any other property that is private property. Having said this, I have absolutely no proof that it was an alderman or anybody else. This is just what I was told. But I do want to raise some concerns to the issue. My aggravation of this action is based upon multiple principles. First, an elected official, such as an alderman, has no authority outside of their official capacity when they're participating as a member of this board. For an elected official to take action such as this on their own, if true, they are acting only as a private citizen of the community. They just happen to be an alderman, but individually they are subject to the same laws and ordinances that apply to everybody else. Trespassing upon private property and removing anything without permission are considered criminal offenses and could be prosecuted if the affected owner chose to file charges. Based upon my experience and observation, it seldom ends well when elected officials step outside of the scope of their authority and attempt to personally enforce regulations. That is what professional hired staff that have training and experience to perform those enforcement activities are for. Second, there are specific constitutional questions and protections that are at play. The Bill of Rights and the 14th Amendment were established and they give us great protection as citizens. One of the doctrines derived from the Constitution is the right to due process. In its most simple terms, due process is defined as the principle that an individual cannot be deprived of life, liberty, or property without appropriate legal procedure and safeguards. The Bill of Rights and 14th Amendment to the Constitution guarantee that any person accused of a crime must be informed of charges, be provided with legal counsel, given speedy and public trial, enjoy equal protection of the law, and not be subject to cruel or unusual punishment, unreasonable searches or seizures, double jeopardy, or self-incrimination. City of Harrisonville Regulations, Section 435.150.A.2.B require that written notice be given to a property owner if it is found that a sign is in violation of the city ordinances. This written notice is required to allow at least 30 days to bring the signage into compliance with county or city regulations. The action of arbitrarily removing signs without notice violates both our local regulation as well as constitutional protection that a member of this board is charged with upholding. Third, there was a major U.S. Supreme Court ruling related to First Amendment's free speech rights related to signage handed down just over a year ago in June of last year. The case is referred to as Reed versus the Town of Gilbert, Arizona. The following is an excerpt from a publication from the Signage Foundation Incorporated titled Best Practices in Regulating Temporary Signs. Basically, I'm not going to read this paragraph, but what it's saying is that signage must be content neutral. You can't choose any one type of sign and pick that sign for enforcement. And a political sign would be the same as a religious sign, as the same as any other sign. You have to set regulations that apply to all of those. You can't choose and pick what regulations apply to what type of sign. Based upon the Reed decision, I can tell you that communities all over the country are reevaluating their ordinances related to the political signs in this first election year that decision was handed down. Based upon a cursory review of the Harrisonville ordinances, I believe there might be some concern and should be addressed to ensure the compliance with the Reed decision. And in conclusion, again, I'm not accusing anybody because I don't know. I was given a name, but I'm not going to say who that is because I have absolutely no evidence. But in conclusion, if the allegations that a member of this board did take it upon themselves to remove political signs, disregarding both the local ordinances, spelling out the proper procedures, as well as failing to protect individual rights guaranteed by the Constitution, they should first apologize to the community as a whole. Then they should return the signs to each yard from which they were removed. Should it be impossible to remove those signs, they should contact the campaigns that have been affected by their actions and personally provide compensation for the signs, as well as any costs associated with campaign workers that were out there canvassing the neighborhoods to place those signs. And that's all I have. And I will provide a copy of this to the clerk.
Thank you. Supreme Court decision, I have not heard of that one.
I think I know what you're talking
I'd like to hear more about that to make sure we don't have something that's not compliant with that. So, all right. Everyone else tonight? Mr. Cobb? She beat you to it.
Oh, go ahead. Ladies first.
You have to get started now, Kyle.
Do what?
Get started now.
I really don't want to be here, to be honest, but I'm here. I'm a proponent of the senior village. Oh, I forgot to give my name, didn't I? Oh, my. Well, I'm Jane Porter, and I reside at 25523 South Lincoln Road.
Thank you so much.
Sorry. Now, back. I'm a proponent of the senior village, and I'd like to, encourage you to figure out what the status on this development. Because recently I had two friends who had to leave Harrisonville. They both were here for their whole lives, and they had to leave because they needed assisted living, and we have none. So now they're in Belton, and I go see them, but it isn't the same thing. When you're 85 like they are or more, people that are that age, they don't travel up to Belton. They stay right at home. So they're missing out on a lot of their friends. So I really think it would be marvelous to get this village. And it also, I figure, I'm not 85 yet, but I will be there eventually. So it would be a marvelous place for me to go live too. So I'd really like to encourage you guys to get on to vote yes, so we could get this tax abatement, so Harrisonville gets this marvelous development of the senior village. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Cobb? I know you had your hand up.
Did you put my hand up?
I won't butt in either.
Jack Cotton, live at 876 Logan, Harrisonville. And I amen both of these people that were up here, especially on the signage and also getting this abatement thing. The abatement thing that we're talking about is for another company that's coming in. And I see the first thing on our list tonight is you're talking about abatement. How long has that property been, that company been involved in trying to get this abatement done?
don't have a
Zach?
timeline in
Yeah.
front of me. What I can tell you is the first submittal they had was fairly incomplete. The second submittal, they're working on it with our attorney too. So it should be moving forward pretty quick.
What about the other company that's coming in here and they're wanting to get their abatement set up?
It's a different type of abatement, different review process.
It's a different thing, but they are on the agenda tonight.
They are?
They are.
The one for the old hospital? That's not on the abatement.
No, that one's
Not that one.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
How come this other company coming in here and they're just now getting established? Where this other company's been here for a while, working on getting this thing up and going.
Two different processes.
Sure, Steve, you can.
Mr. Cotton, I can answer that
All
for
right,
you.
sir, if you would, please.
Because the company that is trying to redo the old hospital has not made their submittals. They've not presented the information that we need to review it. The ball is in their court. And so, yes,
Yes.
we're waiting on
May I
them.
have David to speak on that?
You're addressing us. This is
Okay,
the
all right.
basis, you're addressing us.
Okay.
Sir, you did ask me a question, and that is the
That's all right.
answer.
That's the question I wanted to know.
We're waiting on them.
All right. Now then, I am got a place where, the place where I live refused to let me fly a flag. Especially for the 4th of July. They told me that I couldn't put a sign on their property, a flag on their property. I couldn't even hang one on a post out front. I've done some checking and this company doesn't even fly a flag on their corporate office. Also, this company has been, I don't know how to put it, they've had a citation sent to them, reference water puddles collecting on the side of the building. I don't know whether Mr. Gibbs is still here or not, but anyway, there's water collecting on them and there's mosquitoes breeding in them. Us old folks, I live out there, this new that's coming out of Rio, I don't think it's going to affect any of us at our age, but we're still susceptible to the West Nile line. But anyway, I talked to Kip. He said that they sent them a letter on it. They come back and says, well, we gotta wait on the government to get our money. Any one of us around here that didn't have something like that, are you gonna wait on us to go get government money? Hell no. You're gonna tell us to go out there and fix it and get that puddle taken care of because of our neighbors. And so why is a corporation like that, just because they have 4 different places in this town, are they getting preferential treatment?
I'm unaware of the whole situation, so I can't really respond to
Well, I've
that.
talked to Kip 2 or 3 times, and God bless his heart, he is so damn swamped because it's just him, and you guys aren't putting anything together to get additional help for him. You know, it's just a shame that we're running our city, you know, as the old saying is, you go to hell in a handbasket. And that's what's going to happen if we don't get some kind of, inspection in here that's going to follow up on it and make sure that it's working. And like I say, I don't see how this company, even though it's a big company, they just don't seem to give a damn. I've got over 400 signatures on the petition. And I'm going to work with our press guy here. I want to get this thing out. And I would love it if you guys could talk to them about the same thing. Our city, when a corporation comes in and says you cannot, fly the flag of your country and praise God and glory. And I had one person out there tell me they didn't believe in God, so why should they believe in the country? And we got people like that are running some of the places in our town. And I'm looking forward to this thing coming up out here at the hospital, and even that new one coming out on Jefferson Parkway. Because I talked to both of them. And they seem very affable in trying to make things right for the citizens of our town and help out. And so, anyways, I'm just getting tired of these big companies telling you guys that we can't do it, but yet when we do it, it's either do it now or we'll have it done for you and charge you for it. And I think they are a damn bit better than we are. So if you're gonna do it to one, just do it to all.
Thank you. Everyone else would like to speak tonight?
How did you really feel that way?
All that, I'm very enthused.
Vanessa Zeror Hargrave, 504 North Independence Street. I don't have much to add tonight. Everybody knows where I stand on the abatement that's been discussed a couple times, and I am very much in favor of it for the hospital project in the Harrisonville Senior Living Village. So tonight, I'll just skip ahead to let you know your first agenda topic on the abatement for the new proposed manufacturing project and the additional 10 years of abatement that have been approved by the EEZ board, that have been suggested for approval by the EEZ board. That proposal was done after much consideration by the entire EEZ board that's made up of business leaders, longtime community members, as well as members of the biggest taxing districts in our community, including the school and the hospital. And we did not do it without much thought. And I want you to know that several of us are in the audience tonight, so if you have any questions, please ask us. We're happy to answer.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak in public participation? Seeing no one, I will close public participation. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes. First, we have the minutes from the work session of June 20th, 2016.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Alderman Dickerson, second from Alderman Milner. All those in favor? Opposed? Minutes are approved. Minutes from the regular meeting of June 20th, 2016.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Alderman Milner, second from Alderman Turner. All those in favor? Opposed? Minutes are approved. Minutes from the budget meeting of June 21st.
Motion to approve.
Motion from Alderman Turner,
Second.
second from Alderman Reese. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Moving on to our agenda items. This time, I will open the public hearing for the Enhanced Enterprise Zone Tax Abatement Term Extension from the 10 years to the 20 years. Anyone who would like to speak about the abatement, this is your time to approach the mic. Anyone? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing, and we will move on to Council Bill 042.
Council Bill 042 is a resolution of the City of Harrisonville, Missouri, considering a request by a prospective company to extend the term of their enhanced enterprise zone tax abatement from 10 years to 20 years.
Good evening, Mayor, Board. I'll make this brief and quick because city staff has provided you information over the course of time, last few months on this particular proposed project and these prospective companies.
Can't hear you, sir.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yep.
I'll make this quick and brief because the board has received information from city staff over the past several months on this proposed project and the respective company's interest in Harrisonville. They've identified a preferred site in Harrisonville, and we've had some dialogue with them as to project scope and scale, which I presented in the documents before you. That's about $28,675,000 in capital investment. Of that, about $8 million plus is for real property, and the remainder $20 million plus is for personal property. The enhanced enterprise zone request only abates the real property tax that would be generated from that. So all the personal property tax would be 100% revenue received, and there's no abatement on that portion, just so we're clear on that. The prospective company has looked at the region, the Kansas City region. They do want to put an operation in the Kansas City region. They have the need for it with their customer base, et cetera. And they probably would cover and encompass about a 250-mile radius from the Kansas City region. We are the site preferred. They do have a rail requirement. We do provide rail access for them. And we, as city staff, think this would be a very beneficial project, with the wage level being about $11,000 on average per employee over the county's average wage. The company's average wage would be about $42,000. The county average wage is around $31,000. And there's some additional spin-off from the project as well. And through the enhanced enterprise zone, they would receive a 10-year abatement just based on a formula basis on the tiered abatement schedule. They're just requesting an additional 10 years for the rate that is would be received through the enhanced enterprise zone as adopted. And I don't know if there's any questions. We're recommending approval for this.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I would like to make a motion that we postpone this till next meeting, or at least until we can announce the company's name. We have a public hearing on...
At this time, sir, we do have a member from the company in the audience, and
Okay, great.
he's invited to come up and introduce himself.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Jose Javier. I'm with Advanced Drainage Systems. I'm the manager of facilities engineering. I'm the mayor and board. Good to see you again. And I can definitely answer any questions you might have regarding the project.
Speak into the mic.
Oh, my name is Jose Javier. I'm with Advanced Drainage Systems. I'm the manager of facilities engineering. I want to say hello, and I have a mayor and board again. It's good to see him again, and I can definitely answer any questions that you have regarding the project. Just so to give you some information, ADS, we are the leading manufacturer of HDPE corrugated pipe. So we make, our ticker in the stock market is WMS, it's Water Management Solutions. We make drainage pipe, we make sanitary pipe, as well as we make chambers, anything that has to do with water storage and drainage.
I know of your company, and I've dealt with design work on it.
Yes, sir.
This is for him to speak, please.
Oh,
That's okay. That's all right.
for anybody who may have any questions regarding the project, I'm definitely able to answer them.
Are we doing a pilot program on this project that we would access to the schools and the county?
I don't know.
Through the enhanced enterprise zone, the program actually allows for a tax abatement, and the portion that is not abated is distributed to the tax jurisdictions that impose a real property tax and a personal property tax. So in essence, there's not really a pilot component to it. It's, they owe a tax, we are accepting an abatement level for a period of time on that based on their eligibility criteria, which is identified through the tiered abatement schedule that was adopted when the enhanced enterprise zone was designated. So the state required through the program, when it was first initiated, 50% minimum for a minimum of 10 years. There's no judgment or flexibility with that at the communities that went through this program. So at a minimum, they would get 50% for 10 years. Now, what our enhanced enterprise zone board and the Board of Aldermen did about 5 years ago when the enhanced enterprise zone was designated was said, well, if a company adds more jobs or creates more capital investment based on these amounts, and there's an adopted tiered abatement schedule, then they can receive some additional abatement rates. This project, with the scope and scale, allows them in year one to receive additional 15% tax abatement, so 65%, and then for the remaining years, either 9 or 19, depending on the term, it will be an additional 20% or 70% total. So the 30% in those last years, and then that 35% in year one is all revenue coming in from real and personal property tax. And let me clarify, their capital investment is skewed more heavily on personal property than on real property. So what's being abated is a lesser amount of their investment than what's actually being received at 100% on the tax revenue streams to the school district, the city, and all tax jurisdictions that impose a real and personal property tax. So $20 million worth of tax from personal property is going to receive 100% from day one through the life of the project. Does that clarify your questions? Okay, thank you.
I have one other question. Are you folks paying for the sewer connection to our sewer line from, whatever, 206, whatever that street is out there?
267?
Yes.
Yeah, we have a site engineer that's actually currently working with us, and the tapping fees and everything that would be normal in a development would be paid for.
And then your water source is going to be,
Water source as of right now, there is a 2-inch line that we'll be able to provide our domestic use.
for what company?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The Water District 4, that's their territory, with that site that they've identified. So Water District number 4 would actually be serving the water. We, the city, since the Water District 4's water pressure may not be adequate, we've agreed to provide fire suppression capacity, and that's from our existing water lines out in the area.
So are they absorbing the cost to put the water suppression systems in?
Actually, I believe the water pressure is adequate out there, and I'll let Rick maybe address that.
I don't have the exact number in front of me, but the pressure was around 1,200, 1,300 gallons per minute, which should be sufficient to meet their needs.
And is it their cost to hook up to our main? That's what I'm asking.
There will be a short main extension, and then what they'll do is they'll run, we'll have a meter there, so any water they use off that will be metered. And then they'll run private fire lines and a line for their fire suppression system.
But will they absorb the cost of doing all that?
We will do the short main extension to the other side of 267. Then after that, it will be up to the company to do the private part.
And then who's going to be their electric provider?
Kansas City Fire and Alarm.
Any further questions? Comments?
I just, now, they were once approved for chapter 100 for the last 20 years. But we're going this route instead. So, I mean, it stems from 10 to 20s. A little different. I was along with just a little bit, but it's time-wise. Not any different than the chapter 100.
That's a good question. Why would you choose this enhanced enterprise over chapter 100? Which I thought would be more beneficial to you and it would have helped the taxpayers there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We work diligently in Chapter 100 applications. We have a new CFO in our corporation, and it was his decision for us to manage our cash flow that we not go with the Chapter 100 bonds and we go with the EDC. Quite frankly, we probably may be able to pay it off sooner.
And would that be because the city would own your property instead of you, instead of your company?
The intricacies of that, I have to be honest with you. I don't know, but I can definitely find out.
No, that's okay.
It was a decision from our new CFO.
I would make a motion to go forward with this, the way it's been presented by the PCD board for the 20 years.
I have a motion from Alderman Miller,
Second.
a second from Alderman Bowman. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Excuse me, 42. Council Bill 042 becomes ordinance. Resolution R025.
So I'd like to say, we would like to thank you, thank the board and mayor, and we look forward to building a strong partnership with the city. Ever since we came in, I believe we saw another one of the properties in your EDC, and Jim came out and everybody came out and saw us. We figured Harrisonville would be a great fit for ADS, and we look forward to developing this facility.
We're excited to have you here.
As you see, we already have boots and jeans, so we're gonna.
Moving on, Council Bill 043.
Council Bill 043 is a resolution of the Board of Aldermen of Harrisonville, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to execute a contract with Sheriff Kleiner Warren for the engineering design of the water line improvements at the Trackerite subdivision at a cost not to exceed $64,470.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. This is something that's identified in our 5-year CIP.
This residential area has got small lines. It's in our master plan, Burns and McDonald, for increased fire flow. We did the first phase of this about 6 years ago, and this would just be a continuation of that. And this is just for the engineering portion. Then any luck next year, we'll do the construction portion. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions, comments? Bob?
Do we have the money to do it? I mean, after our meeting on the budget, our road department is severely underfunded.
Well, this is a CWSS fund. We can't use these funds for anything other than water and sewer projects. So I understand we do need money for roads, but it doesn't affect this. It's a completely different fund. It's illegal for us to take money out of this fund and use it in something else.
Any other questions or comments?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Alderman Dickerson, second from Alderman Miller. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And Council Bill 0483 becomes Resolution R026.
Thank you.
Thank you. Council Bill 044.
Council Bill 044 is a resolution of the Board of Aldermen of Harrisonville, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to execute a contract with Jacob Klein Warren for engineering design of waterline crossing under I-49 at a cost not to exceed $32,660.
This also is a project that was identified in our 5-year CIP. Currently, at this end of town, we have an unprotected water line underneath 71 Highway 149. It's an 8-inch line. If that would happen to break, MoDOT would not give us permission to dig up the highway to replace it. So we would have to shut it off, and that would severely handicap the water use in that part of town on the west side of I-49. What this is engineering to put in a new line that would be encased in a metal encasing, so that if there was a problem with that line later, you can pull it out and put it back in without getting into their right of way. Again, this was on our 5-year CIP, and it's basically for the protection of the businesses on that end of the township. We have water converted.
Any questions or comments?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion from Alderman Dickerson. Alderman Miller, did you second that?
Judy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Alderman Reese, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And Council Bill 044 becomes Resolution R027.
Thank you.
Council Bill 045.
Council Bill 045 is a resolution, rescinding Resolution 1916 of May 16, authorizing the city administrator to enter into an agreement with Clayton Holdings LLC, an equity subsidiary of Commerce Bank, to finance $845,850 for a period of 5 years to make emergency repairs to the city wastewater treatment plant digester basin floor.
This resolution is basically taking away the authority to enter into that agreement. If you recall, we were doing that emergency repairs to the digester. We talked about using existing reserves to do that, but based on the capital improvements and not knowing for sure that we were going to get our reimbursement on the on the water plant project, we were just trying to hedge ourselves so that we had plenty of cash flow in the CWSS fund to cover that. Upon further review, DNR said that they wouldn't approve this based on existing covenants on the SRF. And so this basically takes us away and asks you all to authorize us to use reserve money to pay for the digester repairs. We've received confirmation that we will receive a reimbursement for the engineering fees once the SRF loan closes for the water plant. So that will replace that cash in this fund at that point in time, hopefully later this fall. The only thing that we caution is we carefully with our capital plans, that we don't get our cash reserves too low, but this is a repair that has to be done and going forward. Questions?
Was Steve in here? Is there anyone that told us we couldn't do this loan?
DNR?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, DNR It goes through DNR because of the existing SRF money that we have borrowed through the state. And so it went to them for review, and upon legal review, they said that they could not authorize us to borrow money basically against the revenues that were generated that would pay it back, so.
So was this something that would not have been done before we had engaged Commerce Bank? We have not inquired with them?
We
to see if
did.
With
through-
DNR to see if we were able to even do this, because I know we put Commerce through some run-of-the-mill to get this, and of course now we're having to reverse it, so I'm just curious, was this something we could have avoided? With DNR, could we have asked DNR this question before asking Commerce to approve the loan?
We were getting information from the legal services through Commerce that they thought we could do this. You know, basically it's Mr. Maller's diligence to take it through DNR going forward to make sure that we weren't going to be in violation. You know, it just as it goes through that normal legal review for any borrowing of money. So, I mean, I don't know that, we asked DNR and they told us that they thought it would be okay, but until it actually went through the legal review process is when we got the final authority that it was not going to be okay.
Can I clarify that just one?
Sure. Just so the board knows, Commerce was trying to sell the city this service. Commerce wanted to make this loan to the city, and Commerce engaged a law firm, and the law firm said, yes, you can do this, yes, this is all okay, and everything that Ms. McCoy has told you is what Commerce's lawyers were telling the city. I said, no, we need to get this approved through the DNR, and I was reluctant to go forward until we had DNR approval, and once it was presented to DNR said, yeah, no, we're not going to approve that from the city. So yes, we did get down the road with Commerce, but it was because Commerce was trying to sell the city a loan. And once their attorneys no longer controlled the information given to DNR, and we were talking with DNR said, yeah, no, sorry, we're not going to let you do that. So we should not feel sorry for Commerce. Commerce was trying to make a loan, and I get that, and I don't blame them for it, but we did the diligence that we should have, and we found out that yes, this is not something that the DNR would have approved for use of our SRF. Now, Ms. McCoy was very successful in getting it so that it's a short-term expenditure, and we're going to get it back. They've already, in effect, pre-approved it for once we close that loan. So, but that's what happened.
Further comments or questions?
Yeah, thank you. When we voted on this before, Mr. Fullen said that if we did not pass this, then our utility rates would go up. Our utility rates are going to go up.
I didn't say that. We can't control, or the board can control what utility rates. We talked about what kind of funding we had. We talked about the rates that were proposed and were not approved. We talked about the utility, no water plant. But we don't know what it's going to cost us because we haven't bid it yet. There's not a direct cause and effect between.
Well, I was under the impression that our funds would be too low and we'd have to raise the rates to replenish those funds.
Well, no matter how you, whether it comes out of fund balance or whether you borrow money and pay it back, it all comes out of the same source of money, which is the ratepayers of utility. It was looked at the time with the proposal was a very favorable interest rate, so it was a low risk. But the rates have to cover the cost of the utility, including these repairs. But there's not anything, we didn't associate it with a rate increase that was never proposed.
Further questions, comments? Alderman Turner.
Will we have sufficient money still in the CWSS fund after loaning that out with this other that we just passed? I mean, until we get paid back?
Yes, there's sufficient money until we get paid back. And so that's, I mean, and that's key, is that payback, because we've already paid that money out to the engineering on the water plant, and we'll get that money back with the closing proceeds from the SRF. So there is sufficient monies, even with this Schaefer Pine contracts that you guys just approved, and funding this to cover all of that.
Any further questions? Entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Motion from Alderman Milner,
Second.
second from Alderman Turner. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Council Bill 045 becomes Resolution R028. Council Bill 046.
Council Bill 046 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute change order number 1 with Vance Brothers for airfield maintenance project amount not to exceed $8,449.85.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. Before you is change order number 1 for Vance Brothers, and they're the lead contractors who are performing the airfield maintenance project. As we discussed just a couple weeks ago when I presented my airport report, was that the large patches of runway that were scheduled to be replaced, didn't go as planned. So after talking with MoDOT and the contractor, we decided just to abandon that, and instead of turning that money back, we decided to use that money to seal coat and crack seal the entire hangar area. So essentially this whole project has done something to the entire airport area as far as the asphalt is concerned. Now, most of what we did not do in the patching covered most of what we did in the hangar area, saved $8,449.85. So that's basically what this change order is for. We have plenty of our entitlement money left, so this is basically a 90% grant. We'll get 90% of that, and the city will be responsible for 10%, which is $845. Since this contract was approved in 2015, there will need to be a mid-year budget amendment needed for this year, which you'll see here, approved, you'll see your mid-year budget approved package. And if it also is approved, you'll see one more time to amend the grant amount from MoDOT. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Questions from the board? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to suspend the ruling on Council Bill 046 to the second reading.
Motion.
All right, who made the motion? Motion from Alderman Turner,
Second.
second from Alderman Milner. Can I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Milner,
Yes.
Alderman Reese,
Yes.
Alderman Dickerson,
Aye.
Alderman Long,
Aye.
Alderman Stafford,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Bowman,
Aye.
Alderman Bockelman,
Yes.
Second reading, please.
Council Bill 046 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute change order number 1 with Vance Brothers Incorporated for airfield maintenance project amount not to exceed $8,449.85.
Alderman Milner,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Bowman,
Aye.
Alderman Dickerson,
Aye.
Alderman Reese,
Aye.
Alderman Stafford,
Aye.
Alderman Long,
Aye.
Alderman Bockelman.
And Council Bill 046 becomes Ordinance 03365.
Thank you.
Council Bill 047.
Council Bill 047 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute a revised development agreement in connection with the Harrisonville Village development, generally located north of Harrisonville Community Center. First reading, Council Bill 047.
Good evening.
Good evening. What this basically is, it adds one line and it gives the developer an option. Rather than the original development agreement required performance bond, this also gives an option of allowing the city to accept a letter of credit. Done.
Questions, comments? Seeing none, I entertain motion to suspend the ruling and move Council Bill 047 to the second reading.
I make that motion.
I'll second. Motion from Alderman Dickerson, second from Alderman Long. Roll call, please.
Alderman Long,
Aye.
Alderman Bockelman,
Aye.
Alderman Bowman,
Aye.
Alderman Turner, Alderman Milner,
Aye.
Alderman Reese,
Aye.
Alderman Dickerson,
Aye.
and Alderman Stafford.
Aye.
reading, please.
Council Bill 047 is the ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute a revised development agreement in connection with the Harrisonville Village development generally located north of Harrisonville Community Center. Second by Council Bill 047.
Alderman Milner.
Aye.
Alderman Reese.
Aye.
Alderman Dickerson.
Aye.
Alderman Long.
Aye.
Alderman Stafford.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Bowman.
Aye.
Alderman Bockelman.
Aye.
And Council Bill 047 becomes ordinance 03366. Alderman and committee reports. Alderman Bowman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I wanted just to make you all aware that Alderman Reese and I will be hosting our next town hall meeting this coming Saturday morning at 9 a.m. at the Methodist Church. And we would love to invite and encourage all of you to be there. Secondly, I want to issue kudos to Chris and your staff for the great fireworks display last night. You always rock it. It is just awesome. And then lastly, I want to just acknowledge, since it is the day after the 4th of July and we've just celebrated our freedom and our independence, I just want to acknowledge anyone in the audience who is a veteran or current serving the military or a first responder. If you would, with the mayor's permission, if you would just stand and allow us just to applaud you and appreciate you, I would appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Veterans, military, first responders, please rise. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Alderman Bachman.
This year the fireworks were high enough I could see them from my yard.
So you got a front row seat then, huh?
Yeah.
Alderman Reese.
I was a few minutes early getting away from my house for this meeting tonight, and so I took a stroll, I took a drive back through the city park. And I have to say, that is without a doubt one of the most beautiful places I've been. And I've been very fortunate to be all over this world. That park is stunning. And the way it's set up, we just need to know how fortunate we are. I'm very funny, he's still there, no, he's not. There he is. Thank you so much for everything that your department and you do. We really appreciate it. It's beautiful.
Alderman Milner.
As much as disappointed as I was that I was not able to come to the park
I was
and
very
do
upset.
justice to your dunk tank,
I was hurt.
our family always has a big gathering at our house, so it's hard to leave. But again, we are able to watch quite a few of the fireworks from our back deck. We just are taking into consideration there's one tree on our property that's really blocking the view, and it may have to come down this year. So. But they were beautiful from what we could see.
Good. Alderman Dickerson.
Nothing.
Alderman Long.
I'm good.
Alderman Turner.
Our show was great, had good turnout, a lot of people, had fun dunking the mayor. I'm trying to get everyone else's turn. I'm sure I already paid that. I mean, had a good performance and I'm glad to see all the people that showed up. Really nice that a town this size can draw that many people.
Alderman Stafford.
Nothing this evening.
Nothing this evening. Mr. Tholen.
Again, wanted to thank everybody that was involved with all the celebrations that we had over the holiday weekend. The park department did a lot more than just put on the fireworks show. There were activities, and they had a lot of help from other city staff and a lot of the volunteers, and this community knows how to come together and put on a good show. So we all appreciate that. While we're talking about holidays, looking at the calendar ahead, the first Monday in September is the Labor Day. Our intention is to move that meeting to the Tuesday following, and I want to make sure that that's on the record and all the board members are aware of that. And as we're planning agendas out in the future and public hearings and those kind of items, we'll plan on that first meeting in September being on Tuesday following Labor Day. That's what I've got to do, sir.
All right. Well, I was fortunate enough, the Parks Department question on $345. With the dump tank, I thought it wasn't too bad for the first year. A lot of the kids, we let them just throw for free because it was, kind of an activity with everybody to have fun. If they were fortunate enough to just hit the ring, even if it doesn't sink me, they got a free shot. So I probably was dumped a couple hundred times, so I'm good clean. But no, it was a very good turnout, especially with the way the weather was shaping up. It was very cloudy and dreary in the morning, and then it cleared off, and I think it really drew the people out. The show was spectacular. I don't know if it was the humidity or what, but this year there was a lot more smoke across the lake. It looked like clouds almost, but it kind of gave a different effect. And we had a new addition this year. I don't know who was doing it, but we had 3 drones flying around filming the fireworks. It was very interesting. I think I watched the drones as much as I watched the fireworks, so very good. Something else I noticed is Alderman Reese talked about driving around, and it's right across from your house actually is that community garden. When that first went in, I didn't think it would get that much draw to it, and I have been proven wrong. It looks like it probably needs to expand. There's a lot of stuff in there. It seems like people are taking good care of it. So I'm glad to see it being made use of. So I don't know, maybe if I find some free time, but never have, I might try it myself. But anyway, I hope everybody has a safe and happy 4th, and look forward to next year. That's all I have. Mr. Max, do you have any questions tonight?
I do have questions. Can you give an update on the city administrative search by chance? How many candidates are left? Is that process taking longer than expected?
Well, it's definitely taking longer than expected. We can answer that one. Okay, so we have some candidates that we have called in, and we did get some interview sessions set up for next week. So we are continuing to serve the initial searches, and interviews didn't pan out, I guess you could say, as far as getting somebody here. So we have some more leads, and we're following up on those now. Moving forward.
Can you say how many you interview?
That's all part of the closed process. Yeah, shall we do? So we have an announcement of the final.
Okay. And that's next week here?
Yeah, that'll be a closed session.
Yeah.
But we are continuing. We haven't stopped. It's just I'd say it's taking a little longer than we thought. So, but Mr. Gold's doing a fine job. He enjoys it. Is that all you have?
That's it. Thanks.
All right. Alderman Dickerson.
I move the Board of Aldermen go into closed session pursuant to the following section of the revised state legal code. Section 610021, to discuss legal action and confidential or privileged communications